What's up, everybody? Getting into this episode of Secession, Season 3, Episode 2, Mass and Time of War. I freaking love Secession. I've been watching this show literally since Season 1. It's like one of my favorite guilty pleasure shows. Like, this shit is just so good. Creatively, the writing is always on point. This season is definitely a war. Um, when it comes to Greg, I honestly cannot feel bad for Greg. I cannot because his grandfather Ewan warned him in season one to quit Waystar Royco. He even threatened him and told him that if he did not quit, he was writing him out of his will. Mind you, Ewan is worth at least $250 million. Greg would inherit, if not all of that money, he would definitely inherit the bulk of that money because he's Ewan's only grandson, only grandchild. You know what I mean? You would probably inherit at least all of it if he don't leave some of it to charity, but he's threatening to leave all of it to charity. He warned Greg to quit Waystar because they're toxic. He was like, that company is so toxic. It's drama. He was right. And look at the mess Greg is in now. Look at this. Nobody's protecting Greg. Nobody from the Roy family. Logan don't give a damn about him. Kendall, none of them are doing anything to protect Greg. They're all trying to jock for position and power. That's all the rest of them are doing. Worried about their own self. Greg is sitting here trying to ask his friend, who's like, I think she's like in the first year of law school, trying to ask her for legal counsel, like on what he should do. And she was laughing, like, bro, I'm not even in my second year of law school yet. I'm only a first year student. She was basically laughing, like, what the fuck can I do for you? I can't tell you nothing. I said, really, Greg, come better than that. But I mean, at least he was smart enough to like try to look out for himself because he really has to at this point. Like Greg needs to grow a set and just start thinking about Greg. You know what I mean? Because the Roy family is about to throw your ass under the bus. They don't care about you. Kendall was supposed to get him a lawyer, never did. So Jerry ended up sending one of Waystar's attorneys over to talk to him or whatever. But he was smart enough not to, accept the help or whatever. I said, good, that was smart. Get your own counsel. You know what I'm saying? Get outside counsel. So of course he went to his grandfather for some help. That I just feel like that's a no. Like I can understand him going to Ewan, but I still wouldn't have went to Ewan either. Greg needs to do this on his own. Like that's the only way. Like, he just seems like a confused kid. Like he don't know what to do. I'm like, well, tap into your brain. Try to get some smarts, boy, before your ass end up in prison behind his family. Get it together, because they're not gonna help you. Clearly, the only reason Tom basically called him was to threaten him on Logan's behalf, because Logan is pretty much trying to figure out where the fuck everybody's mind is, and Greg has pretty much hitched his wagon to Kendall. So, they're just trying to get information out of Greg about what he may know. So, anyway, moving on from that, Marcia finally popped up. I do not blame Marcia. Marcia is looking out for herself at this point. Like, she is willing to eat shit. Like, she is willing to eat humble pie. She's willing to take the public humiliation in order to stay with Logan because she's still pissed off at him for his infidelity. But she's trying to get paid for it. Marcia popped up and said, nah, fuck that. She talked to the people at PR. She said, listen, this is what I want. I want this amount of money. I want my name on that trust. Like, she's looking out for her family. You know what I'm saying? Financially. She's smart because it's cheaper to keep her at this point. I'm pretty sure she's asking for the big dollars, a lot of money from Logan, but the amount that she's asking for, I'm pretty sure, is way less than what he would have to pay in a divorce. So it's better that way. And the fucked up part was Logan didn't even apologize to her. Like, Logan refuses to eat shit. He refuses to humble himself. Like, he did not even apologize to his wife at all for his infidelity. And I can't say that, like I said, I don't blame Marcia for trying to get paid. She got to look out for herself. Make sure her name is on some trust funds. Make sure money is set aside for her and her family so they can continue to live comfortably. Because at the end of the day, Logan's ship looked like it's about to go down. And she's making sure financially she doesn't go down with the ship. Because if Logan goes down, he got to pay a bunch of money and, all this stuff, and he goes to prison. What's going to happen to her financially? You know what I'm saying? So she's smart to get all this stuff in writing, get bank accounts set up, do what you got to do. Like, Marcia is not playing. Um, but she pretty much told Logan, like, at the end of the day, he need to go take care of, what he got to take care of with Kendall, because he need to get back to New York. Logan is realizing that he needs his family at this point. He needs to, get the kids together and present a united front for the media, for the press, um, to show a united front for the public, because shit is hectic right about now back in town. And they need to stabilize the company, make sure that the stock is stable, and get all that shit together. He still, and the funny thing is, Logan still doesn't have a lawyer yet. I'm like, he needs to get on that. Get you a lawyer, because the feds can lock your ass up at any given second. So he ended up getting off the jet or whatever, hugging Roman and all that, because he didn't know where none of the kids were. He didn't know where Connor was. He didn't know where Shiv was. None of them were answering his phone calls. The only person he really like talked to was Roman. So he hugging Roman and stuff like that, and getting in the car with Shiv. And he pretty much gave Shiv this little bullshit title as president. I'm like, did you clear this with Jerry? Because Jerry is the CEO now. So did you clear that with her, that you were going to name Shiv president? And it's so funny because Shiv was laughing, because she already know him naming her president don't mean shit. It's just a mascot title. That's all it is. You ain't got no real power at Waystar Royco. You are just in a position. You have a title. That's all he gave that girl. He gave her a title. Um, that's pretty much all he did. He just gave her a title. She realized that, and she was still honored to take it. I don't know why. Shiv need to start looking out for Shiv too, because you just keep taking whatever your daddy keep giving you, and that's just stupid to me. Um, Speaking of Shiv, her and Tom has the weirdest marriage. Every time I look at her and Tom, they just look very pathetic to me. They really do. Shiv and Tom just don't work. Like, I every time I look at them together, I just see business. That's it. Their marriage to me is business. It's not love. And they tried that lovey-dovey stuff, and it just came off very fake and phony. Even when she said "I love you" to him on the last episode, he said "thank you." That was very weird. I was like, your wife just said "I love you" and you say "thank you." He don't give a fuck about Shiv. Like, let's just put that out there. They're not in love at all. Tom is using Shiv. She's a Roy. He's using her as a come up at this point. Trying to get some status for himself within the company and put himself in a prominent position. He don't love her. He don't want her. Um, and he finally told her he loved her too. I'm like, yeah, that was bullshit. She need to go ahead and get out that marriage, because that marriage ain't long for this world, honestly. Like, let's just keep it real. That marriage ain't long. Um so anyway, moving on from that, Kendo need to get his shit together too, because how you sitting here hiring this bomb ass attorney played by the beautiful Sanaa Lathan. I love Sanaa. She looked so good for 50 years old. I think she like 50, 51. She looked good. Sanaa Lathan was always a beautiful woman. But she just aged like fine wine over the years. I could not believe she was like in her early 50s. I was shocked. I said Sanaa is 50. I was super shocked. She really looked like she could be about 29, 30. Like, that's how good Sanaa look. Um, but yeah, so his attorney keeps trying to sit down with him and, go over some prep work. Like, she's trying to prep him before the feds come barging in and stuff like that. Because she kept warning Kendall, it's only a matter of time before the feds start kicking down doors. You know what I'm saying? With search warrants for his apartment and arrest warrants and all type of shit. So she needs to prep him and find out what's this information he got on Logan. Like, she needs to know. And he still keep brushing her off like, oh, we'll get into that later. No, fool, you need to get into that now, because what you're asking her to do is huge. Like, Kendall wants her to keep him out of prison. How can she do that if you don't sit down and talk to her? Dummy, you're paying her all this money to keep your ass out of prison. The only way she can do that is pick your brain, basically, to talk to you and prep you. Because when the feds come in, they're going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. You need to be ready for those questions. You can't stumble when they talk to you. You can't sit there and say, oh, I don't know this, and Dummy, sit down with her and talk to her, fool. I hate when people do that, like hire the best of the best attorneys, but then don't want to listen to the attorney that you're paying a boatload of money for. That's stupid. Um, and now he still got to deal with Stewie because Stewie done sent his ass a Trojan horse, like taunting him and stuff. I was like, Stewie need to go sit his little bitter ass down. Um, Kendall basically is doing whatever he has to do at this point to destroy Logan. Like he just wants Logan out of the company so he can be CEO. So of course Shiv popped up over there, Connor popped up, and Roman popped up. I'm not surprised that they all showed up. I'm not surprised because obviously they want to hitch their wagon to the right person. You know, either that be Logan or that be Kendall. They want to hitch their wagon to the right person so they can come out on top. Um, because right now it's not looking good for Logan. It's definitely not looking good for Logan. Like he needs a lifeline at this point. Um, and of course, you know, they want to see what Kendall has to offer. So, you know, they're all sitting and talking and stuff like that. Logan actually knows that they're all together. He knows about it. He sent them some damn donuts with a card saying enjoy your tea party or whatever. I bust out laughing. I said, damn, don't nothing get past that man. And that's what kind of shook them. Connor ass sitting there looking at the damn donuts and shit, contemplating like, should I eat these? Are these poison? I was like, bitch, if you don't eat them donuts, I said eat it. He is not about to poison you. Eat the damn donut, fool. Um, and when Logan sent them donuts, that shit kind of spooked them. They was like, oh, 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 the tides had turned when he sent them donuts. Um, because Roman still sees Logan as invincible at this point. Like he really thinks Logan is always gonna win. And I actually liked what Kendall had to say. I feel like Kendall has a vision for the future of Waystar Royco. He definitely has a vision. My thing about Kendall was he wasn't specific about that vision. Like, how are you going to attain this? You know what I'm saying? That's my only issue with him. And of course, you know, what lost the siblings was Kendall saying he was going to be CEO, like a transitional thing or whatever. Like, he's going to pop up as CEO. Shiv was not here for it. Shiv was like, no, if I join you, I gotta be CEO. Kendall was like, no. He was a little cold, but he was honest. He was like, no, you should not be CEO because you don't have the fucking experience. And I agree. The only person in the Roy family besides Logan who should be CEO logistically, if Logan is not going to be CEO, the next family member who should be CEO, logistically speaking, should be Kendall because out of the kids, out of the Roy kids, he's the most knowledgeable of the company. Shiv has never worked for the company. She's just a stockholder. She's not even, I don't even think she's a member of the board. Like, she's technically just a shareholder. She never held a position with the company until now when he made her that bullshit ass president. She's never done any deals or anything with the company. So why should you be CEO? Doesn't make any sense logistically. You know what I'm saying? Roman definitely should not be CEO. He's not ready. But I agree with Jerry. Jerry, when she was talking to Roman, she basically felt like none of the Roy kids are ready to be CEO. I agree with Jerry. I actually think Jerry should maintain her position as CEO. If I was a board member or a shareholder, who would I want to be CEO? Jerry, because Jerry has been with the company for decades. She knows that company in and out. She was there before the damn kids, long before the kids. So I would hitch my wagon to her. And I think that's what Roman should do. And I think that's what Jerry wants Roman to do. She wants Roman by her side because she liked what they got going on. And I think Roman should hitch his wagon to Jerry. Honestly, I think he should. I think Roman and Jerry working together at Waystar Royco, I think that could be dope. I think he would be smart to do that. Because if he is, you know, putting in with Shiv and the rest of them trying to decide which Logan, you know, which one they should be with, Logan or Kendall, they don't realize that not only could one of them lose, all of them can lose. Because, like I said, if I'm a board member and a shareholder, I would want to hitch my wagon to somebody maybe who's not a part of the Roy family because they're all riddled with scandal. You know what I'm saying? They're all just riddled with scandal. So, of course, they weren't happy about Kendall being the CEO or whatever because each one of them think that they should. So they decided to maintain their loyalty to Logan. And of course, Kendall was pissed. Like, Kendall was pissed, calling them all type of idiots and stuff like that. He was mad as hell that they're not joining up with him. And I do agree with Kendall on one thing that he said to Shiv, that she's angry and jealous because he actually had the balls to go up against her father. He did what she didn't have the guts to do. Like, he pulled off something that she could never pull off. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, why should Shiv be CEO? Kendall actually should, logistically speaking, because he's the one that got the ball rolling on all of this. He was the one that went off script at the press conference and set all of this in motion. So if he had the guts to do that, it's like, he's doing all the legwork, making all the calls, hiring the best of the best attorney. He should be the damn CEO. But like I said, outside of the family, I think Jerry should maintain her position as CEO. I would love to see Jerry being the last person standing at Waystar Royco. I would love it. I think she earned it, honestly. She's definitely earned her position. Um, and she should maintain that position. It was kind of fucked up what he said to Connor though. Like, Connor is pretty much like a nobody. Um, like, basically telling Connor he's not important. I feel like, honestly, all of them trying to be loyal to Logan, I feel like the only reason they're being loyal to Logan because they feel like they got something to gain. It's not out of loyalty, it's not out of love, it's because they want something to gain from it. That's all it is. That's why they're hitching their wagon to him, because they think, well, Logan's going to come out on top. It's not looking good for him, but it's still a possibility Logan can come out of this thing unscathed. It's a hell of a leap because he ain't even got a lawyer to talk to about none of this legal stuff. So it's like, but the feds are definitely coming and they all need to get it together ASAP. So anyway, that's pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you guys thought, and I will see you all later. Have a great night. Peace.